every morning. There's a psalm that says this: the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. New every morning. Great is his faithfulness. When I woke up this morning, I asked the question, and this is how it is for me. I asked God the question, what does your heart want to say today? Because that's my other true choice. I realized back in October last year I choose to speak the heart of God to all of humanity. Because I know that's what I was sent here to do and be. I'm slowly learning how to step into that role. Because I got to be honest, it's kind of scary. Morning, Pascal.
Morning.
Morning, Pascal.
Good morning, guys.
You stepped in on a moment.
Am I following right? Like you're scared of your own power?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
That's changing too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it fluctuates, right?
Well, yeah. can achieve. See,
I don't know if it's me or you, but like someone's breaking up.
We didn't hear it yet, Craig.
hear me now?
Maybe. Yeah, we got you now. Yeah, we have you.
There's a quote from Napoleon Hill that says, anything the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So I've had these huge realizations that have come up the last few months that my primary power is in conceiving of things. And that includes everything leading up to conception. So what's happening now is incorporating the believing part. And for me, believing is a lot more than just changing your mind about something. It's like what I'm discovering is that truth and experience actually are making a believer out of me. So when you say, Pascal, that I'm afraid of my own power, that's right to an extent, because, and the reason I'm afraid of it is because I'm finding it difficult to believe that's actually the truth.
Yeah, it's because you're thinking with your rational mind.
Yeah.
Which is not very rational.
Well, it's not very dependable either.
Yeah.
Not accurate.
But we rely on it like all the time. It's,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're taught that from childhood.
Yeah.
That it's the epitome of everything, right? Like that you have to wrap your head around things and you have to understand in order to be able to act, in order to be able to behave appropriately. That whole structure is disjointed from itself. And thanks to you guys and doing this work, I've come to realize that I'm very, very comfortable inside paradox.
Yeah, being comfortable of being uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it's not something I'm learning so much as it's something I'm remembering. allowing the chaos to reveal itself. Allowing the mysteries to unfold. The hidden things to be revealed.
So I choose to believe my power.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what's changing radically right now for me anyway, is the whole believing side. It's like belief is developing. It's like it's spontaneously, synchronicity, synchronicitously. You know, the truth confirms itself if you really want it to. So that's about true nature and true identity. You know, it answers the question, who is my soul? Who is that eternal part of me? Who is that?
I choose to believe in love.
I choose to believe that love governs everything.
Love is the foundation.
Yeah.
And love is not out there. It's inside of you.
Permeates everything. Love holds everything together. Oh, wow. Quantum physicists are talking about plasma. The plasma that holds everything together. And I'm going, it's love. Love is the plasma. Oh, that's phenomenal.
I choose to believe I am powerful love. I choose to believe my love is powerful.
Yeah.
So you were asking like how to access your soul, you would say, right? That's what you were asking. So I was watching a podcast yesterday, and there was a guy that was channeling, and you know, a lot of people are talking about we're in third dimension, moving to fifth, and he says like the way it works, it's not like, oh, all of a sudden you're in fifth dimension. It's like you fluctuate all the time.
Yeah.
So to 3 to 4 to 5th or whatever, right? And what I think or believe or it's like you can access that anytime. It's just like when you're in bliss, when you're like in the flow, when you're, you know, when you do something you love, then you're in that state and you can access, you know, your higher self, soul, whatever, right? Meditation, all that stuff, right? So I think it's the way to access it, right? So, and understand that you're not your body, you're not your mind, you're not your emotion. We all been there, right? And but you're the awareness of it.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I don't know what's happening to me. It's just fantastic. But anyway, so I went to see the doctor, my nephrologist, because you know kidney disease runs in the family.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think I got like an amazing news, right? So my blood pressure is high, and then kidneys are not as good that they were, right? So like they're not functioning as well. But I came back because I asked some tough question to my doctor. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me, okay, like by the age of probably like 60, I probably need IV dialysis and kidney transplant, right? So, and I says like, is there anybody that ever reverse it, right? And she was like, no. And I'm like, oh, that's strange because I heard that people can reverse it, right? So all kind of things like this, you know, like I challenge her, you know, challenge a belief. I was like, well, I understand it's your belief, but did you think about this and that? And because like I remember like I had an appointment with her, I'd say probably like over 15 years ago. And what she said right now and what she said 15 years ago, it's exactly the same thing. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, except that there might be a prescription that it can slow down the progression or whatever, but that's about it. And I'm like, really, eh? Like it's what you do for a living, you know, and you don't research a little bit more than that, right? So I was just like, I was shocked, to be honest. But then I drove back, and then like my wife was like, why are you laughing so hard? And I'm like, because I'm gonna reverse it.
Yeah,
I
of
will.
course.
You know, it's you know, like, yeah, it's good to have, like, you know, I don't know, like, exam and know like where you're at. It's just
Yeah.
kind of a stepping stone. But then yeah, like, I really believe I'm gonna completely reverse this, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I was going to ask her, I was like, do you want to be a witness that someone will reverse it, you know? You know, I didn't ask her because the conversation was a little edgy, but yeah. But yeah, it's just, it's amazing when you're taking control of your higher mind, lower mind, everything, right? So,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, I'm just the awareness of it, you know, and I'm eternal being. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening right now, you know.
You know, the funny thing is, as I'm observing this, it's just, you know, you're making me giggle too. But you know, 15 years later, her, you know, your doctor's look at it was exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah.
But look at what the difference is. Look at you,
Yeah.
you know, and your response to that news, because it's the same news as it was last time, right?
Right. Yeah.
But look at the difference.
I know. Yeah,
Like, holy crap.
The way I take it, right? Because like last time I went to see her, I'm like, oh shoot, like I got the same thing as my parents, my dad, uncle, all that stuff. So I'm gonna go down the same path, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no way, I'm not.
Yeah.
There's no way, you know. So yeah, it's beautiful to see the progress.
Yeah. Well, and here's another thing too, is you are inside your own knowing now. Like, you know that it's possible to do that. You didn't know that. You weren't inside that knowing 15 years ago.
No.
So it's like there's this inner authority that is basically taking over your life again. It's taking control, taking authority over your environment. These apparent anomalies.
Yeah, it's like my higher self is taking over.
Exactly.
It's not that it's taking over. It's not like kind of against my will. It's just like I'm paying attention less to my mind and body. Right. So I'm dissolving, you know, all this ego mind identity.
Yeah.
And because of that, then I can access my higher mind or higher self or God, whatever you want to call it, creator.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not, control isn't the right word.
No.
It's not like that. It's kind of a combination of authority and surrender at the same time.
sound as if worrying about it or stressing over it will help.
No,
We already know that it won't.
no.
That is, and yet that is what the world, well, and the doctor would want you to do so that you, go their direction. It's like, oh,
Yes, so our belief gets even stronger.
mhm.
Yeah,
See, there's nothing you can do.
it makes your condition worse.
It shuts off possibilities. It shuts off potential.
Yeah.
And, and then the world said, the world is looking for the cure, right? As that's proof for what works. And it really is like, shouldn't the quality of life be the measure?
Yeah. Yeah. Because really the truth is there is no cure. I mean, you can hit things with drugs and chemotherapy and all of these kinds of things, but none of that stuff really cures the condition.
Yeah, that's not part of their plan.
Yeah,
It's not a business plan. They were like, oh, we need to cure disease.
yeah,
You
because
know?
the condition is mental. The condition is energetic and mental, and you can't cure that. You can only change it. You can only change your mental state. You can only transform the energy of it.
And that goes for everything. And so when we know that and it doesn't go like how we want, that is the wobble.
Yeah. And that's because
again,
we don't understand the energy.
Yeah.
Or we don't remember.
So after the meeting, or the appointment, I wanted to talk to my brother, right? And but yeah, I knew like he was working at the time, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna call him. I'm gonna wait. That he's gonna call me. And then I had another appointment a little bit later on, and and then I was like, oh, I'd like my friend too to call me as well. So both of them in the same time, they call me. So I get home, and then my wife is like, why did your brother call you? And I said, well, because I asked. So I'm just like, I don't know if you call it synchronicity or like being in your power and stuff, but it's like, or talking telepathically or something like that. But it's quite amazing that I was just like, you know what? No, I'm not going to call them. They're going to call me. And then they did. So maybe you would say it's a coincidence. I don't know.
We can call it whatever we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I go to, if it's always working like that.
Yeah, if you pay attention. Yeah.
if it's always working like that, what if, for example, he didn't call? What would that mean?
Did you say what does it mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think those are times right there that's harder to believe, harder to trust. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's like, oh, we're looking for the truth again, right? So we're putting it on, we're looking for it, if you will. And then it's like, oh, it doesn't show up, or it doesn't show the way we want it, or the way we were asking. Yet, usually it's a yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
why I
that
like
doesn't,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
it just doesn't make it any easier going through it.
No. Yeah, that's why I like the analogy of like going to the store and then just put the address on the GPS, but then halfway you just get out of the car and be like, I don't think it's the right way. I really don't think so. You know?
Yeah.
So you really doubt, like, I don't think the GPS is right, you know? There's no way, you know? Maybe let's go for another GPS or something.
Yeah.
I think that analogy that I heard is it's just fantastic because we do that all the time, you know?
That's great. I should already be here.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe eventually that will work that way, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. But right now,
Yeah.
it's not instantly, but like it is, but it is not, right? Like it's already in creation, you know, but the universe has to kind of move the puzzle so they're aligned. So for you to experience that, but it takes time.
Well, no, it takes synchronicity. It's dependent. All these things are dependent on all the other people that are making choices in that environment.
That's what I had too. Like, and I mean, that's the version of the universe. The universe is made up of people creating. And not creating from their power, not creating from love.
The thing is, as you go through that, you find the others that are creating from love and choice. From conscious awareness. Even some of those aren't creating from love either. Start.
Well, even if we say we are, we're not always either.
Well, that's
even if I said I am, I'm not always either, and it's hard as hell to see when I'm not. It's not fucking easy cakewalk like we would expect it to be.
Well, no, because it's all habitual.
It's all a paradox, right?
Yeah.
with a miracle in between only if you're looking for it. And not even when you're not expecting, sorry. When it lines up, we call it that.
Yeah. I'm kind of blown away because a couple of weeks ago, I came across a group that turns out to be my tribe, or one of my tribes. But these are consultants. They're not coaches; they're consultants, and and I realized I've been a practicing consultant for over 40 years. So it's really funny. It's like doing contract work, and all that kind of thing. Like a crazy for hire. And while all that's going on, I attended a session about 3 weeks ago about writing your memoir. And right when I'm kind of in the middle of all of this stuff, I get a note from this writing your memoir thing about they're offering me a scholarship for this. And I'm going like, holy crap. This is kind of amazing how this stuff is unfolding, right? And and I had thought initially that these things were about some kind of participation in programs, but I'm realizing that that's not really what it's about. This is just an awareness exercise and a realization of who my people are. Because I got this directive a few years ago, and that was find the others. And I found you guys, and that's one group of others. And I found this group of consultants. That's another group of others. So they keep showing up.
Yeah, when you're ready for them to show up.
Well, yeah, it has a lot to do with that. And a lot to do with the synchronicity of it. Yeah, this is a funny thing too. Is that this consultant group? They call themselves consult for equity. And so what you do in some cases, instead of being compensated with money, with a fee, you can be compensated with a fee, but also be compensated with equity in the companies that you're helping. Now, this is really interesting. I started consulting in 1982, and in 1983, I did a consulting for equity contract. So here we are 40 years later, and these guys are teaching this stuff. And I knew how to do that like way back when. I knew the power of that. So it's kind of fascinating to me that here we are 40 years later, and all this is coming to light. You know, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, you know, it's funny. So what's interesting here for me is that that I'm attracting this stuff and these people into my reality. You know, by just giving it due attention. You know, and part of it's asking a question. You know, so when I get this directive that says find the others, you know, there's this question in the back of that that says, I wonder who they might be.
Hmm.
Is that important for you to know?
No, but it's important to have the observation senses out to detect, you know, to detect the energy that's coming. Okay, that's an energy question. I wonder who that could be. Could is an energy question. Wonder is an energy question. So here's a really good example. Okay, when I got into MagMind program, I think the first person, like, I attended a bunch of recodes right away. And I think the first recode I attended, was, I don't remember for sure, but one of the first ones I attended was Trisha Becker. And she got on there and I went, the first time I saw her, I just said, I really want to meet this person. I really want to spend some time with this person. And what's really wild is at the 5-day event, I had my car. So this was end of January, 5-day event. I had my car. Well, when I got there, the first night, I was up in a room with Galit and Trisha Becker and Tabitha. And yeah, we were drinking wine together and talking about things. It's totally freaky. And then what's really funny is that one of the days during that event, I had Trisha Becker in my car and drove her down to the beach and spent time with her. And I truly believe that I manifested that. And I guess that's what I mean by making a believer out of me, is because it came, you know, I had that desire, I had that intention, and it came true.
Because you're a powerful creator.
Well, yeah, I created that. So, you know, and so even the realization that I created that is just, I mean, that shoots the belief level up even further, right? And it didn't take long. Interesting thing was that I did spend a little bit of time with her at the November event, but my belief level wasn't the same as it was in January.
You're telling me you change?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Friends off, Craig.
What's that?
Friends off.
Friends off?
Yeah, you shouldn't be changing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Should be the same.
Oh, that's like the old comment in the yearbook. Oh, never change. You're so awesome, never change. Yeah, so the dynamics of all that. In my perception, in my experience, in my understanding, have changed, but no, the dynamics haven't changed. My understanding of how things work has changed. And what I'm learning to do is I'm learning to perceive things differently. Same realities, same structure, same grid, but my interaction with it is different.
Yeah,
due
what
to
changed?
Awareness. Yeah, the awareness has changed.
Is what you're emitting.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
your vibration changed, your frequency changed.
Yes.
That's what changed.
Yeah. Well, that and a whole bunch of other things too. And the interaction with it, the interaction with the energy has changed my interaction.
I think I'm going to point to best I can. I think it's the demonstration of the energy change has been that same at that question, like when you asked, who could this be? And Pascal says, well, do you really need to know? I think that difference, the different orientations. Now, I know, Pascal, you were like probably you were questioning about it in that way, meaning that our society's point of view is always to look at, well, who or how do I go get that? And rather, it was like Craig, what I heard the difference is Craig's like, no, I just set the intention. And when it shows up, I connect it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I just have the intention. I just have it laid out there. And then it's like, oh, there's the intersection. So it's not like we're scrambling for it. It's not like we're focusing on it. We're just laying it out so that it's like we can, oh, there it is. That's the difference between there it is and how could I? Or needing to know. Maybe that's a better word. It's rather than just needing to know. It's like, no, just lay it out.
Because for me, here's the thing about needing to know is that truth is I already know, like part of me already knows. Part of me already knows those people, those others. part of me can sense where they are energetically, right? And so a lot of this is unconscious, superconscious that's going on. It brings them all, you know, that brings them in and creates those experiential realities, right? It's like, you know, because once you set the intention or ask the question, you don't have to concentrate on it anymore. Like your spider sense kicks in. It just,
And that's the paradox.
yeah, because you're not concentrating on one thing. You're not focused on one thing.
Which means it's not being limited.
Right. Yeah, the focus is broad and loose. It's oriented toward the whole field instead of something specific. Yeah, oriented towards the whole possibility or the potential. Oriented toward potential. Yeah. And doing that in conjunction with ultimate intention.
So I don't know if you guys were able to attend the webinar about money manifestation.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't. Interested on your feedback if you did. I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I missed it too.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. But it was pretty, I thought it was pretty powerful. I mean, like, the webinar, and I didn't expect that he's going to be like trying to sell a course with it, but
yeah,
it doesn't really matter because like the information was great. One of the things that really strike me that we all do is, so he says, try the most you can to eliminate 2 words of your vocabulary. And the 2 words were need and wants. Because if you're saying, I want this, that's disempowering because that means you're not it. But we all know that the higher self, not the lower mind, but the higher self is whole. It's got everything in whatever, like it needs, right? Like it's a whole, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was really powerful because like then I was aware of my language even just in the morning. The next morning, and I was like, oh, we need to do this, or I want this, and I'm like, okay, let's try to change those things, right? So instead than one, I try to change it. I desire this, you know, so it's not, it's less disempowering. So I thought like it was, yeah, it was really cool. And the other thing that I really like is wishing, praying, wanting, like even mantras, like how do you call them? Like the vision boards, they all doesn't work.
Well, they all do the same thing, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So
They reinforce the implied belief that you don't already have it.
exactly. So like you're sending like mixed signal, the way you explain it. You're sending mixed signal to the universe.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it was really cool. And then I think I mentioned that one again. You know, the call that, you know, like the energy cannot be created or destroyed. So that means we don't make money.
No.
And he's like, let that sink in. Let that sink in, because we all think we make money, but we don't. So yeah, it was just, yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good webinar.
And then what did he say? If you don't make more money, what is he like? How does he frame it?
Well, it's like you transform energy, right? Mm. I don't think he says that, but like that's why I think, I believe, right? You transform energy. Mm-hmm. Because it cannot be created, so we don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to watch it on his YouTube channel. I'm not sure. I'll look it up, and if I find it, I'll send it over. But okay, I shouldn't say that.
No. I got something else. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like before you said anything, Craig, I think you're picking up my brain sometime.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt, man.
Because like the other day, like I had to go on mute or whatever, and then like I was just like, I gotta stop thinking because he's picking up whatever I'm thinking. You know, whatever I learn or whatever, I was just like, yeah, he's telling it in his own words, right?
Yeah.
But like I was just like, shit, you know, that's amazing.
Well, it expands as we interact like this. It just expands. Mm-hmm. Everything just gets bigger. That's what's blowing me away. And so I just got like, as you were talking, I got 4 or 5 things that I just went, oh,
right.
You know, that's so much bigger.
Yeah, and that's what happened with when I hear him. You know, I expand so much. That's what's happening. You know.
Yeah.
And I gotta stop myself from thinking, and that's a hard one because like I'll be like, oh, I got this inside, right? And then I'm like, well, I'm not present anymore. You know, like these thoughts will come back. Don't worry about it, just
Yeah.
keep focusing on what he's saying, right? So, but yeah, go ahead. What
Yeah, like keep focusing on the energy. Yeah, because it is. It's all about the energy. So here's what the energy spoke to me is like, this preconception creation is about forming the energy of things. It's about bringing diverse energies together into one, into a unity, into a into an entity, into an organism. Oh wow. An energetic organism. Oh wow. So that's what I've been doing. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, yeah, an energetic organism that has a life of its own. Oh man, wow. Oh, working with energy, just no, not working, playing with energy forms. Oh man, that's a pretty damn hot sandbox.
Yeah. Oh. And what he was saying, he says, like, because he's got one book so far, right? And then he said when I published the first book, Supercharged Self-Healing, he said I lined up 3 more deals with books. And he says, like, you got to understand, like, publisher don't do that. No. And he says, like, I didn't do anything, but he worked on himself. That's what he's saying. He's saying, like, everything is inside. Everything is inside. Everything is inside, right?
Yes.
So, and when you work on the inside, that's when the outside shows up, not the opposite, right? We all know that, but it's just like, just a reminder all the time. It's just like, we're always looking out there. Well,
it's it's because we've come to believe that we're not complete. That something outside of us will complete us, and we are, but we already are. We're already complete and have access to absolutely everything that exists from inside us.
Yeah.
Oh. So when I talk about forming, when I talk about forming energy, every human being can do this. It's part of being human. Oh man. Oh. Wow. You guys ever been on a merry-go-round?
Which one?
On a merry-go-round? On a
Merry-go-round.
carousel? On a carousel? Carousel?
A
You ever been on
carousel?
Do they have a brass ring that you try to grab?
In the center, right?
Carousel is like the big wheel. Is that the one?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not
No.
like a Ferris wheel, but it's one with it runs flat, horizontal, and it's like there's horses you can sit on.
Oh,
and
I
stuff like
see.
that.
Okay,
Ride
okay,
horses.
okay.
Yeah, ride horses in a circle. Yeah,
Right,
and the really good carousels they'll have a brass ring. They'll put out a brass ring that you can try to catch as you go by. Right?
Oh, okay.
And you get a prize for getting the brass ring, or you get a free ride or whatever, stuff like that. So anyway, but as we were discussing this stuff, there was a brass ring that showed up on the sidewalk right in front of me.
Mm.
I'm going like, holy crap! Is that appropriate or what? You know, this is so funny. Good morning. So I found this brass ring. Yeah.
What could you win?
Yeah.
What did you win? Yeah.
What did I win?
Oh,
Well,
what could you win?
well, no, this realization that I just tried to explain is like this is a huge one. This whole thing about having all the energy in the field to work with. You know, that total potential infinity.
Mhm.
And having all that to work with, and we have access to all of it, absolutely all of it. And so we can bring energies together. We can create organisms out of the energies. And birth them. Birthing organisms. Birthing energetic organisms that take off and do things. So when I say that I sat down and designed a virtual classroom and all the pieces of that and put that energetic together, and it became Zoom, the app.
Mm-hmm.
But I started it. Or was one of a number of people that started it, but that was it. That was an organism. That was an energetic organism that I created. And I know damn well everybody on the planet can do this. I know that.
Energetic conception.
Yes. Yes.
Well, and so I think that's like a first step, is to acknowledge, to recognize, to say that, like to hold that space. And then from all of it, something comes in, something floats to the top, and aware of that something from nothing and from everything.
Yeah.
Like that is the power, that is the conception, that is the energy that's speaking to each of us in our own unique way.
Yeah. That energy combination is the first form.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And then it's what do we do with it is what's important. And most of us, unaware of it, will just do what we've always done with it. And that's what we're doing, is learning what to do something different with it.
So our past create our future.
That's right. Pre-sent. And
before
rather
it
than
was
just
sent, before
yeah,
before you were sent. Oh, wow, 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 wow.
and the worst thing that most of us do is dive right into it and tear it all apart. By trying to make sense of it, figuring out what to do or how to do it, rather than just how could this?
Doubt it.
Doubt it, you bet, that's another way.
Yeah. Or try to match it up with our concept of reality.
Mm-hmm. Or our past truth.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh.
There's your brass ring for the morning.
Hey, you guys, when I laugh like this kind of spontaneously, it's because something has expanded to me, and I can't put words to it. It's very conceptual and large. It's like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been laughing a lot this morning.
You know, before we're sent here for our Earth experience, that's what happens. There's a body, soul, and spirit that are preformed energetically. There's an organism that's created. Before it takes physical form. The organism exists already. As an energy trio. As an organism. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Oh, wow. That's why 3 keeps coming up. My. 369. Oh, Nikola Tesla, thank you so very much. Oh, man. Oh, 369. Oh. Yes, this is before conception, before the sperm and the egg meet. Oh, Predestined. Ordained beforehand. Oh, man. Oh. 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 Oh, man. Oh.
Just breathe through it.
If I can. Oh. I hope you guys are feeling the energy of this because it's like, it's profound. Oh. Oh.
Oh, it was one more thing that that was really profound during that webinar.
Yeah.
So he says, I want you to get a tangible asset, preferably gold, a gold coin.
Yeah.
And I want you to carry it everywhere you go. And see what shows up. And right away, for me, I was like, what? Like, I cannot carry like $3,000 in my pocket. I need to protect it. So all my belief about gold, money, whatever, it shows up.
Oh, wow.
And there was all my limiting belief that, well, someone can steal it from me, right? So
yeah.
yeah, it was just so fun. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, because he was like, yeah, I want you to get that before, I think, June 11th. And like right in the beginning of the webinar, I think he says that. And then I didn't understand why June 11th. He says, oh, that was going to be powerful, but it's when his course starts, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he says, like, this is exactly what I do. This is what exactly I do. I always carry gold coin in my pocket. And I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna start with silver.
Yeah.
For me. You know.
Yeah. Good morning.
But yeah, no, it's just interesting that like all my limited belief just like pops up.
Yeah.
You know, just by one little exercise like that. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
And it does for all of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Right? Like,
yeah.
It's,
morning.
you know, It's the lack of awareness, meaning like when it pops up, we go to our default,
Yeah.
which and unaware of it. Like you weren't aware that is what you thought every time that popped up.
Yeah.
A coping mechanism, I guess you could call it.
And he says, like some people will buy it and resell it right away, and he says, one thing I want you to do, doesn't matter the price that it's going to go up or down or whatever, that I want you to keep it. And a lot of people will be like, well, I need the money. I'll buy it, but then I'll need the money, so I'll sell it right away. Right? So that's not, I understand that is not my pattern. But the protection of it, I was just like, whoa, this is huge. Or like other people would be like, yeah, I want to show it to people, right? But it's not me. I'm not a show off. Really not. Right? So it's, yeah. I don't know.
And you'll be looking for it everywhere you go as a constant reminder of, oh yeah, I got that guy's course.
I got that what, sir?
That course is coming up, right? And look at all the things that I'm aware of now. Look at me connecting all these things that he said in preparation for the course. It adds complete. It's a brilliant genius, a value.
Oh yeah.
What we focus on is what we will create.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah, that is brilliant, actually. Kind of like making you prepare.
Yeah, he just gave a taste for it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he gave us the entree, but to get the full meal, that you got to pay for it. Are you hungry enough?
Of course. That is
the
goal. Do you want it bad enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the weird part about all of this too. Because he pointed out that the inherent error in wanting, and then he uses it to market his stuff. It's kind of like yeah, that's the slap in the face that I have a problem with.
No one's created a better way yet.
Well, yeah.
And no matter what we say, we're all, it's.
Well, it's transitional. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are transitional. Coming to realize, like you said, you got one foot in the 3D and another foot in the 5D, right? So until we learn collectively, until we learn how to operate from the 5D back towards the 3D, there's going to be a lot of transitioning happening. There's going to be a lot of straddling the fence.
Wow, that is a powerful structure. Always having 2 points. Ooh.
Well, and there's tension in it too, right?
Mhm, mhm. Unless they're in the same plane, then you're flowing. Or stuck, depending on the higher or lower plane you're stuck in.
Yeah.
Structure of dimensions, dimensionless structure, dimensional structure.
The hard thing to realize, though, is that once you get to the fifth dimension, there's no I'm going to say, once you get to the fifth dimension, there's no there's no opposition. There's no opposition becomes complementary. Yeah, what seemed to be in the 3D mind as opposition turned out to be complementary in the 5D reality.
In other words, it's flowing.
Yeah. Yeah, the opposites are working in harmony with each other, which actually creates a vibration. The polarity creates a vibration, creates a sine wave, fluctuation back and forth. Speeds up and becomes a hum. Which is basically what alternating current is. It isn't polar. Good morning. Yeah, direct current is polar. It's like a battery that has a positive and negative end. But alternating current, it has positive and negative, but it's a fluctuation. It's a fluctuation between the two. So it's a sine wave. It's a harmony or a tone, a hum. Direct current doesn't hum. Yeah, that's the magnetism part. Polar. It's polar, but it has a field. Oh boy.
I expanded my awareness around the structure and where the 2 points are, where we place the 2 points.
Yeah. Referring back to that organism that's created. Yeah, that combination of energy has a frequency to it, has a hum. Wow, I'm yanking stuff out of the ether like crazy right now. Oh my goodness. Rattle and hum. Whose album was that? Guns? No, it wasn't Guns N' Roses. It was that? Rattle and hum.
Yes. What's the name of it?
Rattle and Hum. It's an album that came out in the 80s, probably. I think it was somebody like, might even have been Bon Jovi.
Sometimes I'm wondering, like, who's driving? Because with these calls in the morning, like, I go pretty deep.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, how can this truck drive itself?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't feel I'm driving it.
But just to expand on that a little bit, who's driving your experience right now?
Don't think it's my rational mind.
It sure as hell isn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's right. Yeah, I spend most of my days being like this. In fact, I hate it when I got to be responsible for something. It's like it's not where I want to be.
Yeah, it stopped the flow, right?
Yeah,
Or slow it down.
I just love being like this. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, like I've walked up and down 4 or 5 blocks here and I can't even remember where I've been. Like I just have no clue.
Yeah, and there's nowhere to go.
It's like my body's just going through the motions. I'm just yeah.
Nowhere to go, nothing to do.
Yeah. So if I was driving, I'd wake up and go, how did I get here?
Mm.
You know, these insights and realizations about energy are just, they're literally blowing me away. Crazy. Damn, this is exciting. Oh my.
So everyone can choose to believe they're powerful.
Believe it or not.
Most don't.
Just don't really make that choice.
Well, we forget that it's a default choice.
Yeah.
Everyone can choose to believe that they can love their life. They can choose to believe that they are creating it. And that they can choose their passion, their purpose. like in the paradox of things, it's like Pascal, with your example, just notice how the combination of peaceful power if there's tension between the two, aware of it, and if there isn't, that's progress. You can reflect back on where you had resistance to that because it's still there. Part of honoring it, right? Honoring the progress.
Yeah, be aware of the relationship that I created.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we can ask if that's true. That relationship, that becomes the belief, the truth. When we examine it, pull it apart, put awareness into it, into that energy, we can untangle.
It's also important to not blaming the relationship that I created, but just realizing that it served me until now. But the question is, do I want to keep the same relationship in the future? Or I want to change it? That's my choice.
I think that is the importance of want and how we ask it. I don't think it's just to get rid of it, because I think if we get rid of it, what we do with that is that we mask over the current moment of now, which is the biggest, which is always a point in structure.
Or getting rid of want.
Yeah, remember that, get rid of that word. Yeah, the recommendation was to remove that word from your vocabulary.
Yeah.
I can see the phrase of I want this, like that's a desire, that's a longing for, that's a grasping for, I got that. But I think to ask the question, how could I have what I want, right, is completely different. Because it's setting a future, it's setting what you desire, in contrast to why you don't have it now, which is always the resistance, is why we never have it.
Yeah, but you do have it now.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the point. But you don't believe that.
There we go.
Right? And only until there's awareness on it, then it's like, oh, then I can disentangle, I can let it go. Only that, otherwise it'll just keep running.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, I mean, that is what fits into what he says. I mean, otherwise that belief is just going to keep running under the surface. And we have many of them that keep running under there that are what we progress through. If I was comparing ways of creating,
Yeah, just like that word better, desiring than wanting. It's almost like, I don't know, like it's more than wanting. It's like desiring. It's like my heart is in it.
It's a softer feminine
Yeah, maybe that's what I am.
and a deeper. It's a softer,
Yeah.
deeper feminine energy than a want. It includes that. I think it more
Yeah.
masculine for me.
Yeah, want is more masculine for sure.
Yeah, it's more like a longing.
Yep.
A desire that's deep in your heart. The heart
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking about the difference between the two, and it's like even I think a desire is more personal, which will bring up more resistance for people.
Right. And there's a backstory to it too. It says that you desire to receive it. There's receiving energy in it.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's whatever works for you, right? It's like,
Well, yeah.
you know, you want to use this, you want to use that. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's what resonates with you better. It's the same thing, you know, if we're talking about food, right? It's like you were saying, it's not one diet fits all. So the word you use, but I feel like the need and want, and, you know, it's really something. Am I going to be aware all the time that I'm not using? But at least it's in my awareness that, oh, okay, let's try this now, this flavor, and see how it works out for me, right? Because I'm curious. That's my true nature. I'm curious and I love trying things. You know, we're here to have as many experiences as we can. What we're here for. We're here to transform. Now I don't know like if I want to use create, but yeah. We're here to transform and experience. So get the most out of it, right?
Mm-hmm. We just would listen to the words we use, the words we speak, and the words we say inside our head.
Yeah, those you don't need to follow.
Mhm. Not most of them, right? Not the way we're conditioned to them.
No.
Yeah, but our language itself, the vast majority of it is very, very binary logical. Very much either or language and absolute. Like we use the word like never and can't.
We use so much of avoiding language rather than what we want a language.
Yes.
What we're going for language. So they are not the same.
Yeah, it's a limited language.
Limiting language.
But it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but the language itself is that.
Yeah, but you don't need to use these words.
That's easier said than done.
That's it. I found the secret.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. I was talking to one of my Magmind friends a couple days ago here, and I didn't realize how much of those words that I was still using. And she just said, "Oh, wow." So yeah, more awareness is helpful.
Yeah, and like be aware of the way people are talking too.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. A friend of mine he's dealing with arthritis in his toes, I think, or his joints. And he used the F word for his foot. And I'm like, imagine if it's your friend that is the foot.
Yeah.
And you're saying the F word. You think like he wants to be your friend?
Yeah.
Right,
And
that's your relationship with your body.
He doesn't like the arthritis, so he's cursing his foot.
Yeah. But he's got other things going on with his foot, right? So, but it doesn't matter. You better like not send any energy than this kind of energy.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And like people are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, all right, that's it. That's I cannot say too much, right? So that's the extent of the conversation regarding this, right? So take that in, and then like when you're ready for more, let me know, right? And it's okay, right? Like this is as far as he wants to go, then that's it, right? So when his foot is worse and worse and worse, maybe you'll be like, oh, maybe I should love him. Yeah. Right? Because that's how that I think lesson works, like you get a scrape on the knee, for example, and then like, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, that hurts like shit, And then I don't know, like you get like a sprain or a sprain in the ankle, and then like it just get worse and worse until you're really realizing like, oh shit, like there's definitely something I'm not doing.
But how do you learn to not think like that and not speak like that?
That's a really good question.
Most people that think like that and speak like that have no idea that they're doing it.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Even,
Yeah, it's a self-awareness for sure, but yeah, it's a tough approach, right? I mean, it didn't come to me the first day, you know what I mean? So it's a buildup of hearing things, experiencing. Yeah, like I think, yeah, it's hearing like different perspective, and through my experience that I came to that conclusion, you know, and yeah, be aware of what I'm saying, what I'm doing, what I, you know, it's.
Yeah, I think it all starts with awareness.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's self-aware.
And then when we become aware, what we notice is that we're orienting to it, that it's either happening to me or my thinking is creating it.
Yeah.
And those are hard to see in the awareness, hard to believe.
Yeah, right. When you don't believe you're a powerful creator, that's a really tough one, right?
And the fundamental, the core of that it's happening to me is a victim.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't choose that. Come on.
That's right. Right. And that's what we get into. It's like, oh, I don't want, there's the words again. I don't want my foot to hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Well, what the fuck do we want? Why wouldn't we put that? Why wouldn't we put focus on that? Do you see what we're putting focus on?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, and it comes down to our language. And it's just so automatic and default that everyone does it, that as soon as we say, oh, I'm going to look at it differently, it's like, no, I'm wrong now. I mean, because that's not what everyone agrees to. So again, now we're back into a structure of you're wrong.
Here's the kind of an underlying thing too. On top of that is that language itself is a form of focus.
Mm-hmm. A form of creation too, adding to that focus.
Right.
And I don't want my foot to hurt is focusing right on that. But it also says I want everything but that. So there is no focus except for that thing.
Right. That's exactly the point.
What that means is that what I really want is everything but that one thing that I'm focusing on. So which thing would you create if you are a powerful creator?
Well, which thing would you create automatically? You create what you focus on.
That's right. And so that's why we tell ourselves, as long as we repeat those mantras or think that that's the way that it works, that it will work the other way, which is why it isn't. And I'm the crazy one for bringing that into existence.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
I know you're a quack, Jesse.
Right. And all that tells me is, well, you haven't sat in enough to think it through, because if you did, you would see how ridiculous that is.
Yeah.
But it's not that obvious, damn it.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard to walk it through either.
Unless you don't even know that's an option.
Yeah. And when you do and don't walk it through, that's ignorance.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, lazy, whatever. And so it's like, don't make me to be the bad guy for that.
So I'm considering all this through the lens of my own chronic pain experience. I understand now that there was some messages in it. But they weren't messages that could be figured out.
So if they couldn't be figured out, then what was it for then?
They were messages that had to be experienced and integrated, which is still where it's at, actually.
Rather than how were you orienting to it?
While I was fighting it, I was opposing it. I was putting attention on it, actually. Treating it as if it was something to be solved, a problem to be solved. It turns out it wasn't that at all. It was messages that spoke about my own well-being.
A contrast between where you are and where you're going.
Yeah, and that was truly the gift. That's truly the gift in that experience. The message was explore what makes you well.
There you go. That's powerful. What if you would have said that to him, Pascal? I just wonder what the response would be to that. Explore what makes you well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The automatic is still going to fix. So it'd be like, oh, well, I do, right? I do that.
Yeah, I think like, yeah, that's really good, because if you think it's your friend, foot, like your body, whatever, then how would you take care of it, right? How can you make it well?
Yeah, but it's not about the foot.
No, it's not about the foot, but
It's about, yeah, it's about overall well-being.
Well, and I think as soon as you ask, in our language again, so as soon as you ask that question, our language goes to, well, I would do this, 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 and this.
Right, exactly.
Rather than being in the, well, what could I do part of it? I don't know.
Yes.
What could I do?
Yes.
And the paradox of it is to always say, I don't know, to whatever you got. Oh, I can't do that. Nothing will get done. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe his well-being has something to do with breath work, or relaxing more, or getting more sleep,
well, that's why, like,
or a combination.
oh yeah, no, exactly. It's so many things, right? Like, it's all the doing, but that's why, like, be how you want to feel and feel how you want to be is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because in reality, there's nothing to do. Be and feel has nothing to do with do.
Yeah. So for me, it's about finding your own well-being prescription. And that my well-being prescription is unique to me. I mean, other people can give me hints as to what it is, but only me and my body knows what constitutes well-being for me. So part of that adventure in chronic pain for me was about finding out why that condition developed. And to be honest with you, I became kind of obsessive about that. about finding out why it happened, but it uncovered a lot of things. And that was beneficial. But the other side of it is creating an environment where I can tune into my own physiological rhythms. And maintain health and vitality based on those. And those are my own unique things. Just like when we were talking about Kai, and he already knows when to sleep, when to eat. His body tells him that, and he's tuning into all that stuff.
Yeah.
The truth for me, when I experienced all this chronic pain and that burnout, it was basically my body telling me that I was far away from my unique rhythms.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. I suffer in 2008. Yeah, 2008, I had like back pain. I went through surgery and I suffered.
Yep.
And now that I'm realizing why I suffer is because I put intention on it.
Yeah.
I put focus on it. And then, because like 2 days ago, I work out, and it's almost always the same way that I injure myself.
Yep.
But I keep doing it because my ego, I'm like, oh, Pascal, you're quite strong, you can push more, or you can do this more.
Yep.
And it's always the same way. And 2 days ago, I injure myself the same way.
Yeah.
But the difference this time, I didn't put focus on it. And I changed my vibration. And today, not that I didn't put attention in the mean that like I didn't do anything, right? So I took care of it. Like I know some stretches that works for me, and like that kind of stuff. But like I wasn't thinking like, oh, ouch, 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 ouch. I wasn't really like putting in my awareness, right? I'm like, I'm not my body. I'm just the awareness of my body. I'm not my body. I'm just the awareness of my body. I keep saying that. And today, I barely feel it.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just aware a little bit that, oh, okay.
So would you say it healed faster?
Yeah. Well, like my relationship with it is a friendly relationship.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if it healed at all, or if healing had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And you said you changed your relationship with it.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that interesting?
Because for me, in my experience now that I experienced that kind of pain, I found that pain was inevitable, but suffering was a choice. Because now I choose not to suffer. But I might be in pain, and like someone that had will have the same pain, like they probably wouldn't come to work today.
Yeah. The suffering is the focusing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you focus on something, it's a choice.
Yeah, but when it's intense pain, it's pretty hard not to focus on it, quite frankly.
I know, but
It's like, holy shit.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, 'cause it's right,
I've
it's right
been in pain.
smack in
I've
the
been
front
in
of
pain.
your awareness. Like it's there.
Oh yeah, and then it reminds you all the time. It's it's almost like a bad girlfriend that's poking your shoulder like all day long.
Yeah, I experimented with dozens of ways to deflect my attention. Like to distract my attention from the pain.
And
Well, as far as I know, that's the only thing that got me through. But I didn't know what to distract myself with, or I didn't know what to put my attention on. So if I was racked with pain like that today, I know what I would put my attention on. That would actually make a difference. But back then I didn't have a clue.
would you share that for those out there?
Sure, what?
What you
How
would do now?
What I would do now?
Yeah.
How you accomplish that?
Well, the thing is, yeah, okay. Yeah, didn't really accomplish anything, because what's interesting is I still that chronic pain has never gone away. And that was it got unbearable about 16 years ago. So I still feel that pain every day in my body, but the difference is well, even doing things like this morning's session, like I just got in a very creative space with you other silly men, you two other silly men, and quite frankly, the thought and even the feeling of pain disappeared, or it disappears when I'm in that space.
Yeah.
That's like, and I was out walking for 2 hours while we were talking this morning. And so, you know, there's times every once in a while where I'll feel one of my hips tighten up. And what's interesting is I'll stop and I'll bend over and kind of stretch it a little bit. And while I'm doing that, I'll get a major hit of inspiration while I'm doing that, while I'm stopping and bending over and stretching. It's kind of, it's very curious to me. But so the signal of feeling pain like that is just a reminder that that there's more well-being coming, and that full well-being hasn't manifested itself in my body yet, but it's on its way. And I think that has something to do with integrating all of it, integrating the whole experience. And that's all on a super conscious level. Well-being is on a super conscious level first.
Yeah, I think the reminder, you said, the signal, it's to remind you that you are your body.
No, it's a reminder that I'm not my body.
No, but if you know that you're not your body, then you're not in pain. But when you tune back to your body, that's when you're feeling the pain.
Yeah, when I identify with my body, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting difference there.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Craig.
You're very welcome. So I'm curious, what did you hear?
And choosing what you focus on, choosing how to relate with it. Choosing that it goes away when you're focused on something else, and that the current reality is that it's there.
Yeah.
It's like, and I think that's where so many of us, we dismiss the truth of the current reality. We modify it, we change it, we want it to be something else, we distract it, and it's like, no, the truth is that is one point of the structure.
Well, here's a word that came to me out of that. It's like the current reality is an encouragement to stay in that space where it fades off into the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's an encouragement to dwell in the liminal space.
Yeah. And to remember, like, oh, where do I want it to be? Like, where am I going with it? That's the future structure, right? That's this, like, being it already. Because who knows where it ends up, right?
Yeah. It'll end up where your desire takes it.
That's right. Yeah. Where it'll end up right where it's supposed to be, right? Where it's already written.
Yeah.
So, and maybe we just tell ourselves that our expectations are off, You know, because if we want the, fuck, I mean, it's so, if we want it to go away, right, you're telling me that you do have it, like you are experiencing that part of it, but then it comes back. So is it really away or not? And then we'll use the words, oh, we want it to be healed. Oh, so we don't ever experience that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like becomes in that expectation of like, well, which one is it that you want?
Hmm.
I'd never want to feel that again. Great. All right. So then how would we switch it from a problem solving into the other one? How could I? I mean, first part's then like phrasing the words to it, right? How could I? If I never want to experience that pain again, well, I have to frame the words differently. It creates, we can see new language. Because it's really easy to come up with that old language.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like it's automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy to predict your future too.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I'm laughing at?
It'll never get better.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, better is another one of those words, hey? Your condition improve or get better.
Yep.
Yeah. No, what I was laughing at is how many of it, how many times in the last few days where this terminology has shown up. It's like Bible terminology. So so that whole thing about this daily pain as a messenger came up, and the idea of Paul talked about in the New Testament, Paul talks about a thorn in the flesh, having a thorn in the flesh, and I just realized that could be the same thing. What I just talked about could be the same thing that Paul was talking about. This daily messenger that kind of encourages you to keep your dwelling and keeping your relationship with God or source in a certain place, like in a certain space. Because I mentioned that the antidote to feeling the intensity of the pain was actually dwelling in that liminal space. So when I feel pain and it goes intense, it's a signal for me to intentionally to go into that space. And when I dwell in that space, well-being shows up.
which becomes a trigger, right? Then it becomes a new pattern, a new automatic, new habit, a new habit, a new default.
It becomes an anchor. It becomes an anchor for the new habit. Right?
Exactly.
So a trigger becomes an anchor. Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow.
That's exactly what the ineffective ones are too. Those are those are anchors. We just don't view them as that.
We don't relate to them as that.
That's right. We're just rewiring them, restructuring them, reframing them, and then practicing it again and again and again. That is the only way to live a life that you would love.
Yeah.
That is the only way to change current reality.
So instead of dealing with things the 3D way, we deal with things energetically.
What does it mean to deal with things in 3D way?
Well, problem solving is a really good example of that.
Victim.
Well, no, it's not. It's not that. It's applying 3D results.
But to me, like being in victim consciousness is being in 3D. Also, there's other ones, I'm sure. Because the reason I think like you were not in pain while in these sessions, because you're not really vibrating. Your frequency is not really in 3D during that period. So you're not like, oh, poor me, poor me. I have this ache and pain. So it doesn't keep you here. And it's not like you're going somewhere else, per se. It's just, I guess you're responding differently, maybe.
Mhm. And it's, I guess, focus is somewhere else, right? Focusing on something else, because it can only be focused on one thing at a time.
Yeah, you're not watching the horror movie. You're watching something funny, comedy, for example. So you're kind of laughing about it, and it's the same thing. Like when you're in a bad mood or something, and you watch a funny movie, and then it's like almost like your pain goes away, right? It's a very similar thing.
Yes, it is. And it's questions like, well, did it ever really go away? Because if it did, then it's like, huh, wow. And if it didn't, then, oh, wow. Either both of them are a belief.
Yeah.
Which one's right?
Do you really want to know?
Both. I think we lost Craig. I don't know.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You went too far on this walk?
Must have.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other realization that was very profound for me, it's like the universe is a perfect mirror. And I heard that before, but I don't know, it just didn't clue in. But say I'm wishing that this is gonna happen, then the universe not gonna really just give me exactly what I want, but more like the fact that I'm wishing. So things I should be wished for. So that's why I like wishing. So I wish I would have the perfect health. But yeah, it's more. I know it started to make sense to me that like, okay, maybe it's really ineffective. That means like if I wish something, that means I'm not powerful.
That's how I hold it. It's how it appears to me too. Which is like a something else, like will give it to me, will bring it, that type.
Right. Yeah, the only one that I don't know how it really works is the lottery. The lottery, like, yeah, I wish I would win the lottery. Oh, that's really what I desire, you know? But why it doesn't happen, right? Is it because I keep looking for the end result before it shows up?
Yeah, and that might not be in the cards.
Yeah, because I mean, as far as I know, we have equal chance of winning. So what
Which-
makes people win?
Right. Do you play?
No.
So then you really don't want to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's more like my wife, she plays once in a while and she keeps wishing.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I guarantee my future.
Right. Yeah. And then we're disappointed when we don't win.
Well, that's why I have no disappointment, because I know I don't play, so I cannot win.
That's right.
But if I would know how it works, then I would play. You know, if I would know the end result, then I would play.
Right. Exactly. Right.
And it's
certainty.
it's the way we operate, right? Oh, if I would know that, like, this business I'm creating that start from nothing, and then like I'm in the hole for the first 5 years, will make like millions of dollars, then I will go for it, right? So yeah, so you know, I know, like Chris says, like, focus on the end result, and then like I hear someone else like saying, focus on the process, and the result would happen automatically. And he had I can't remember what's the exercise name, but you know, when you have an end result, you don't want to just stop there. You want to have another end result, right? So in a sense, it's almost like focusing on the process and not the end result, because there's no end result, right? So when I get that, then I'll focus on that. So I'm focused always like ahead of time, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's like the be it is the key to it, you know.
Yeah, and it's hard to not get out of the car and be like, where is the destination? Where is it?
Yep.
Right? It might
Is.
not happen in this lifetime, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we
That's
want
right.
it right there and then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we think we're not powerful creator.
Yep.
So I'd say enjoy the process, not the end result.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you might hit some bumps on the road, but
You will.
you will, yeah. But knowing it's just like those challenges or just a way of growing.
Hmm. Context, meaning. All right. Well, I've got to take this other call, Pascal.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah.
All right, my man. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, eh?
Okay. Bye.
The three quack brother.